My name's Logan Fulton, and I'm a junior, and I make films as a hobby. Well, the first film I made was in 8th grade, and it was for a Spanish project. And our group, it was like 5 people, and we spent like 3 months making this movie. It was this, it's like Spanish war film. We used like Google Translate to like write the script and stuff, and it was like crazy complicated. It was like 15 minutes long, and we ended up showing it to the class, and it friggin' sucked. Like, it was just really cheesy, and it didn't have like any special effects or anything. It ended up losing in the class's film competition to like Drew Zangrillo and like the other jocks who they dressed up as girls, and it was like cross-dressed. It was weird. And then after that, I was kind of like, well, I kind of want to get better at this. This was fun, but the final product was just awful. Then I started filming stuff on my own, and every time you kind of made something, it would get a little bit better. And I started looking into like different kinds of editing software. For a while, I used to just film by myself, actually. And I used to just set the camera up, and I used to be in the shots, and I would edit it, and I would do everything. And it's kind of grown since then to now we work with actors and some other people. Well, we film in a variety of different places. For a while, I used to film at the wire mill in Georgetown, and then they said we couldn't come back there. That was back when I used to work with some other people. And apparently they realized that if we kept on going back there, eventually someone was going to like fall through a floor or like die of asbestos. So they were like, that's not a good idea. And that's really the hardest part of filmmaking, is trying to find a place to film, because it's really a huge liability. No one wants to let people into like their business or anything. So as far as where I make the films, that's anywhere that someone's stupid enough to give us permission to go there. And then I edit all of them at home, and I got a pretty nice computer, especially for all of this. I've probably made between 10 to 12 probably films at this point, larger films. And it depends how long each film makes. It depends like what kind of film it is, where how many effects need to be done in it. Like the Battlefield video that I made, that one, almost every shot needed some kind of visual effects work, and it would often take between like half an hour to an hour. To some like more complicated shots, it could take an entire day just to finish them. And that project, I started that in August, doing like the pre-production, the script, and then I finished it in February. So I'm not quite sure how many months that is, but it's a pretty long time, like 6 months, maybe. Because of that, I don't make videos very often. I would say I probably make, on average, a video like once every 3 or 4 months. And as far as videos I've made so far, the biggest projects I've made was the Battlefield one, the one that won Film Fest last year. That one's called World War Z. And the one that won Film Fest this year. And the most popular video I ever made was the Nazi Zombie video. That video, the producers of Treyarch, who make Call of Duty, which Nazi Zombies is part of, they tweeted the video. I think it was the second night it went up, and then it got over 100,000 views in a week. And it was the #1 most viewed video in Poland for a couple days, so that was kind of cool. A little fun fact. So this year I created a film for Film Fest, and it won. It was called The Last Beginning, and it was about a guy and his goldfish, and the guy died on 9/11. I was looking around for some interesting stories to tell. I read the story about this guy who was thinking about like starting a new life, and he had this like dream that he was in like the World Trade Center. It was kind of weird, and I didn't really like the execution of it, but I liked the idea, so I kind of harvested it and then modified it and kind of refined it to so it really matched what I wanted out of the film. And the actor in that film was actually one of the ones from the Battlefield film. I just asked him if he wanted to come over and help me out, and he actually let me film in his apartment, which is cool. So I guess where I met him, because that's what you guys are wondering, is where these people came from originally. I used to get my actors off Craigslist. It was really sketchy, not gonna lie. Like, some of the people you meet are like, okay, but most of them are really nice. And for the Battlefield project, I wasn't really happy with the acting quality of the Craigslist creeps. So what I did was I found this website. It was called Casting Networks, and basically what the website did was it let me post my project, and when I post my project, it would allow me to like look for what kind of actor I want, and then all these unionized actors could reply to it if they were interested in the project, and I could audition them. And the reason that they would do it for free is because I could give them footage for their acting reels, and if they have good footage on their acting reels, then they can get more paid jobs. So they're willing to do these like free jobs in order to get like better credentials, and it pads up their resume so it's more impressive, so they can beat other actors and getting other jobs. Yeah, so that's how they came around. And then we filmed the thing in one day. It took a couple hours, and after we filmed this apartment, we took the subway down to the World Trade Center, and we kind of spent the entire afternoon evading like MTA officials and cops because they kept on yelling at us. So you just get back on the train, you keep on going, and then at a new station you film again. Then I went back into the city a couple days later, and I filmed all the shots in the beginning. We went to like right underneath the Brooklyn Bridge, like looking over Manhattan, and I kind of just set up my camera. That's how all the like wide shots in the beginning came from, and then I added the World Trade Center in post. So I'm contracted with a YouTube channel. It's called Machinima, and they're one of the most like subscribed YouTube channels out there. I think they're the number 3. And essentially, what Machinima is it's a network of other channels. There's like a couple hundred, I think 300 or so in their network. And what they do is they give me money to post videos on their channel. So that way their channel gets traffic, and then it all gets ad revenue, and then I get a portion of the ad revenue back. After the Nazi zombie video became popular, I got an email from them asking if I wanted to join their like program. I was like, yeah, I mean, we're doing this for free now, so it'd be cool to do it and get paid. I used to work with a couple guys from the school, and we kind of had a rough creative difference split. I guess that's how we'll leave it for this interview. Then on Battlefield, I worked with Leo Kiandalis, and he's a filmmaker. I think he's 23, 24. He makes pretty cool stuff, and I actually met him over the summer at a film shoot. And after I split up with them and I needed someone to help me out, I asked him if he was interested in helping me out on the project, the Battlefield one, and he said yeah. And he actually directed it. I was the like assistant director, and I produced it, which meant I got all the resources together, and then I edited it. So it was kind of a collaborative thing on there. Then the Film Fest one, I did that completely by myself. It was just me and the actor, and I set the camera up on a tripod. But way back when we were all together in a group, I used to sometimes have to act, and like I was in the Nazi zombie video, even though I was directing. It was kind of difficult to do both. I don't know. I decided don't consider myself to be a very good actor, and don't really like acting very much, so I'm kind of happy that I don't have to do that anymore.